Hey everyone, it's TM24Fan8 from Viking Gaming Servers, and this is episode 5 of our server play series. Today I got a bit of catching up for you because I've done some work off camera to get us closer to our eventual goal of an IC2 nuclear reactor because of the problem of IC2 requiring a lot of work to really get functional these days, which I've actually been enjoying the challenge. It's been a lot of fun. It's a lot more of a legitimate factory feel than a lot of the other mods I've been playing with lately. And it takes hard work, but it does some neat stuff. So without further ado, basically, I put a laser drill over here, and as you can see, it's got 6 lime foci in it, focuses, whatever you want to call them, and because that is the color that picks up uranium. And this has picked up a lot of uranium. Ouch. Those lasers, they hurt. The cryo-stabilized flux ducts really weren't necessary. I like them. They look cool. And I've got the resources, so why not? The laser drill picks up the uranium and tosses them through this impulse item duct into the tesseract, which is also providing the power. And it's a neat looking setup. And during this episode, I'm also going to add a second laser drill to use for other things. But first, so it picks up uranium ore, and nether uranium ore, and many other forms of uranium from the ore dictionary as well, not just IC2 uranium, and they all go into this macerator here. It's got a fuzzy card in it and an acceleration card. The fuzzy card makes it so I can put in the IC2 uranium ore and it picks up all ore dictionary registered forms of uranium. Interestingly, and actually to my delight, it does not pick up yellorium with that, so because I have yellorium processing somewhere else. So uranium goes in here and becomes crushed uranium ore and gets sent back out into the system through this interface that isn't visible to the terminal. Down here to this ore washing plant where it becomes purified crushed uranium ore. And we've got water, we've got water export bust into it. I'm not sure why there's a bucket of water in the upgrade slot. So you can see crushed uranium ore comes in, purified comes out. And then the next step is over here to this thermal centrifuge. The purified crushed uranium ore gets sent through here, and 1 uranium ore gives us 5 uranium-238, I think it's 5 uranium-238 and 2 small piles of uranium-235. And if we get uranium up in NEI here, I can actually verify that for you real quick. Oh, right, wrong uranium ore. Yeah, 5 U-238 and 2 tiny piles of U-235. And what those are used for, they're then sent into an export bus into this solid canning machine that's set to export enriched uranium fuel and fuel rods, both of which are crafted on demand by this export bus. Crafting card, capacity card, and 2 acceleration cards. And if we look up the recipes for those real quick, you can see that there are a few different ways to make it, but the basic way is to make U-235 with U-238 with U-235 in the middle. There's a couple. You can use uranium or yellorium ingots, but that's kind of wasteful in my opinion. And then fuel rods are just an iron plate through a metal former set to extruding, and you go through that canning machine and you get uranium fuel rods. And as you can see, we have 1,025 of them through this automated system. We literally have it automated without having to touch it from gathering the uranium ore itself all the way through to turning it into fuel rods that can be used in our eventual reactor. And we'll set it up so we can autocraft dual and quad fuel rods at some point as well, because we'll probably make use of those. You may be asking, well, why do you waste all that power all the time on that laser drill? Glad you asked, even if you didn't. We have an auto shut-off for that. And I ran it off this crafting CPU just because it's one of the only places I had channels available for it. We've got a level emitter set to fuel rods, and when we're over 1,000, it emits a redstone signal to this wireless transmitter. You with me so far? We go downstairs here. Hey, don't do that. There we go. Come back down here, and if we pull away that stone for a minute, you can see that each of these laser drill prechargers has a wireless redstone receiver under it. So when we're over 1,000 fuel cells, it automatically disables this laser drill. That is pretty sweet. It took me a little bit to come up with, but it's pretty cool. And it waits till it gets to 1,000 fuel rods. So fuel rod, there we go. So any uranium that was still in the system at the time that the fuel rods reached 1,000 still gets processed into fuel rods, so that's why we have 25 extra. Really, 1,025 is probably overkill, but we like overkill here at Viking Gaming. It's all Chris's fault. So that is how we get our fuel rods. We're still a long way off from the reactor, because if any of you have done nuclear things in IC2 anytime recently, you'll know that it has just gotten all kinds of complicated. Don't know what I'm doing here. So we're a ways off from that, and we're not exactly hurrying because, I mean, there's no reason to. It's going to take a while no matter what. So one thing I want to do in this episode, besides set up another laser drill, which we'll get to in a minute, is I want to real quick automate this molecular transformer with some of the neat things that it can do. Because as you can see, we probably won't be turning wither skeleton skulls into nether stars anytime soon, because 250 million EU is quite a bit of energy. I believe that's actually 1 billion RF, if I've got my conversion correct. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it's, I don't know. But we want to be able to turn iron ingots into iridium ore, most importantly. And then there's also some other cool stuff you can do. The Cenarium pieces and Cenarium will be useful later on for advanced solars that we'll be making use of. Red wool and the blocks of redstone. That's kind of cheesy, but you can put coal in to get an industrial diamond, and then put that industrial diamond in for another million EU and get a regular diamond. I had thought at one point that IC2 was going to do away with the industrial diamond and just make diamonds from their coal recipe and their molecular transformer. Well, this is from advanced solars, so I guess I don't know. I thought they were going to do away with that, but it's still here. But there is a way easily to turn it into a regular diamond. There was something else in here that was pretty cool. Silver into gold. Oh yeah, gold ingots into shiny ingots. It cannot be understated how important shiny ingots really can be sometimes, and they are super hard to get. We've got a, sorry, my chair just tried to kill me. We've got a, oh man, if it ain't one thing, it's another. We have a pulverizer that processes any incoming ferrous ore, and it has all 3 augments that make secondary chance more likely, so we get a little bit of shiny ore, or shiny ingot from that, a decent amount I would say, but being able to autocraft them would be super great. So, what we're going to need is to look through our facades for a minute. We've got 2 channels left on each line that's going that way, I believe. Yes. So we're going to need an interface and an import bus on this, because this machine cannot be upgraded with a ejector upgrade like the regular IC2 machines, because advanced solar panels are, I don't know, a bunch of meanie heads. So we're going to have to put an import bus on. It's going to waste a channel, but it is worth it because this machine is super cool. So let's get ourselves an interface of the slabby variety. Yep, I said slabby. And then we, oops, not you. Then we get an import bus, which we already have a couple of. Cool. I love it when I accidentally do something right. And some smart cables. Let's see how I want to do this part. Do I want to have it come out of the wall over there? Yeah, I'm just going to have to run it off this line here, so I'll add this. I'm really trying hard to make pretty builds so that Chris doesn't yell at me too much, so let's do it this way. Alright, that can be where the interface is, and then the import bus can be here. Let's grab a couple facades, close that up a bit. Okay, that is already a facade there. So we just need a couple. I can scroll good. I tell you what. Okay. Let's put those away and put those away. And now should be able to do that. Wait for it to get a channel just to make sure. Alrighty, and put this here, and you can go away, cables. And wait for that to get a channel. Alright, so that line back there is now maxed out on 8 channels. And it's running off of a line that already has some use in the upstairs machine room anyway, so we're going to have to probably run another line down here straight from the controller at some point before too long, but right now we can work with what we've got. So now that is set up, and I think what I'm going to do, we're going to just have this import anything, so we don't really need to set it, program it, or have any capacity cards. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make 4 acceleration. Hello, look at that. Hey, we've got 4 acceleration cards. Imagine that. That was not planned at all. All right. So that import bus will now import anything it sees almost instantly. Now we can work on the fun part, setting up the auto crafting patterns. To the server room we go. I really don't know what's up with those bubbles in here. Wife must have had tacos again, I don't know. Alright, now we're going to say that 1 iron ingot, and we're going to take one with us. Well, no, we don't need to because we've already got iridium. 50 of them, as a matter of fact. Mostly because Scotty is generous. He gave me 32 of them for several stacks of gravel because Scotty has iridium coming out his ears. So, and then the rest we've found on our own in various places. Hello. I wonder if that translates into what I think it does. We'll find out in a minute. First, we're going to encode this pattern. And go ahead and scroll down to the, whoops, okay, past those. Molecular transformer. And put that in there. So now what we should see is, yes, they're craftable. It'll be a while before we need it to, but that's okay. Not really planning on using a lot of iridium anytime soon unless I get ambitious and make a quantum suit so that I can eventually make the Gravisuite chest plate, which is the most ridiculously expensive but amazing thing IC2 has to offer in the armor department. And it's actually from the it's actually from an IC2 add-on called the Gravitation Suite. It is another super cool add-on. Advanced Solars and Gravitation Suite and Nuclear Control. There are a lot of good add-ons for IC2. And yes, I'll mention Greg Tech as well. We don't run that on this server. We're thinking about adding it the next world, but we don't know yet. It used to be one of my personal favorites, and I kind of shied away from it in 1.6 and 1.7, but we may be going back to it. So, for those of you that don't know what Greg Tech is, it basically adds a whole complete overhaul of how the progression works in not only IC2, but now a lot of other mods, and basically makes things more difficult, but increases the longevity of a world a lot, and has a lot of really neat, super expensive endgame stuff that's really powerful, and basically, once you've got a super cool base in GregTech endgame stuff, with the progression that GregTech adds early as well, you can feel pretty proud of yourself because that takes a lot of work. So, what else do we want to do? Oh yeah, gold to shiny, which is basically platinum, but thermal expansion calls it shiny metal because I don't know. Oh, we have 11 shiny ore. That's interesting. I'm going to take these out and figure them out in a minute off camera as well. So, gold to platinum goes in the molecular transformer interface. I might as well just go ahead and automate Scenarium now as well, but I'll have to make those. So we'll take one of each of these, and we'll go down, and first of all, we'll make the Scenarium piece. So this is literally insert item, add tons of EU, and get something else. Like here. That's interesting. We usually get 5120 EU per tick through here. But it may be just running slower because we're not needing as much. And boom, we have a Scenarium piece. Hello. What? Oh yeah, it got pulled into the system. Oh man. So let's go ahead and put this through here too. Oh, that's interesting. It's still only getting 25, 35. I wonder if we've got something. That's interesting. I'm afraid to pick that up because it'll break, but I'm thinking that's probably the problem. But we'll worry about that sometime when it matters. So while that's crafting, I'm going to go off camera real quick and take care of a couple things, and we will return momentarily. So folks, I figured out that iridium ore can be macerated into crushed iridium ore, and then ore washed, and then you get iridium dust, which only smelts into the iridium ingots from advanced solar panels, but that's still handy because, as you can see, otherwise we would have to put one of these into a compressor to get one of those. So, you know, a little bit of a savings there. Seems to take a lot of water to wash these. No, just a bucket. Okay, never mind. My eyes deceived me. So that's almost done. And what you get is it turns 8 crushed iridium ore into 8 purified, and each one also gives 2 tiny piles of iridium dust. So we can go ahead and consolidate those. Maybe it takes a 9x9. That would be something IC2 would try to do. Yep, it takes a 9x9. So we only get an extra 1 iridium there. However, once you put the purified crushed uranium ore into the thermal centrifuge and wait a long time for it to heat up, each one of these also drops an additional tiny pile of iridium dust along with some stone dust. That also drops the stone dust. So, you know, if you're making construction foam, you like the stone dust. It comes in handy. So that, we're going to go ahead and let that process. And right, I'm going to go ahead and continue encode. Hello, we already have a Scenarium? Oh right, I already did that. I'm batting 1,000 today, folks, I tell you. Hello, 1 glowstone dust, please. Oh, now you give me 2. Well, I don't want 2. So we can go ahead and say that 1 glowstone makes 1 Scenarium piece. And encode it. And then 1 full glowstone, I should say 1 glowstone dust makes that. 1 full glowstone makes 1 Scenarium in the molecular transformer. You can also just do a 9x9 of Scenarium pieces, but that would be 9 glowstone, whereas This is 4 glowstone for 1 whole scenarium, so it's a bit of a savings if you do it that way. So let's go ahead and, well, first of all, let's go ahead and put all this stuff back. I don't know what's real. There we go. So Scenarium piece and Scenarium are now able to be auto-crafted by our molecular transformer. And real quick, the last thing I'm going to automate in there for now is making a diamond. Okay, well, we obviously have some diamonds because that laser drill down there, picking up uranium, still picks up things that aren't included in the lime focus. The lime focus just means that the uranium and other things that match that focus will be the most likely to be picked up, but it'll still pick up anything else now and then too. So we've gotten some diamonds from it, which is good because we were having a diamond crisis for a while. Let's go ahead and make this a processing pattern and say that 1 coal, when put in a molecular transformer, will in a moment make, well, now it's getting 1560. I don't understand this. I'm going to have to sort out some power gremlins down here. Hashtag blame Chris. Oh, one of my favorite pastimes. Blaming my co-owner. He's actually pretty awesome at this stuff and really is a neat guy. So, you know, I just have to pick on him here and there. And he'd be concerned if I didn't. Let's see here. So, this is being fed straight from a Tesseract into an Ultimate Energy Cube from Mechanism, which isn't losing any power. So I'm not sure what's going on here, other than, let me get my IC2 wrench and probably regret this. There we go. I'm going to pick up this electric kinetic generator because I really think that that could be the issue over here. Yes, it is. Now we're back to 5120. So I didn't realize that this electric kinetic generator, I didn't realize it took up that much power. We're going to go ahead and probably not have that hooked up unless we have to. Or, actually what I'll do is, a couple more. 1 stone and 1 stone cover. We'll probably just go ahead and give the, well, that wasn't what I wanted to do at all. Give the electric kinetic generator its own Tesseract. And at some point, folks, I promise I will learn to speak basic English. It'll take a while, but I will try to do better. All right, so let's get started on a Tesseract there. And we're going to use a, oh boy, that's not what I wanted to do at all. Let's try to put my wrench away. And you have to use an IC2 wrench because reasons. I think that's the output. Okay, so we're gonna move you for a minute. There we go. I really love that this wrench deteriorates. Like, what is the actual purpose of that? It is just annoying. Eventually I'll build an electric wrench because reasons are that it doesn't break, and you can put it in lossless mode to make it so that you don't have that chance of an IC2 machine breaking when you pick it up. So that's on the to-do list. Also, not you, you. Let's eat from the unlimited fruit of Grisaia. I need a universal cable. And how about that Tesseract? Now we coming. Alright, we're filling the frame. And then we should be good. There we go. We have a Tesseract. So now, all we really need to do is dig back here so we can hide it. No one will know. Set this to an ignored. Block items and fluid. And receive energy. that there and tune it to Viking Central Power. And suddenly, you have energy again. Awesome. Oh, hey, I should probably go ahead and cover that back up, huh? That'd make it look a whole lot better. There we go. Okay, so how are you coming? What was I even doing with you? Oh, yes, an industrial diamond. Sorry, folks. A little scatterbrained sometimes. I'm a special snowflake. Encode that, and we'll also encode one that says industrial diamond will become a regular diamond. And I'm actually going to go ahead and keep that on because I'm going to turn that into a regular diamond rather than wasting another type slot on the crowded ME network. Okay, so there we go. We've got one coal to one industrial diamond and one industrial diamond to one diamond. And that's all I'm going to automate on that for now. Let's get that in hand. Actually, it doesn't really matter, but go, go, go. All right. And see, it's flying now that I solved that electrical drainage over there. I forgot the electric kinetic generators always run, even when they're not being used. So there we go. That should be one more diamond. I spent one somewhere, I think. All right, so that's that for the molecular transformer. Now we're going to go ahead and place another laser drill. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Well, do I want to do it that way, or do I want to do it the easy way with Ender IO? I think I'm going to go that way this time. It's just a lot easier. This I just did because it looks cool and it only is mining one thing and it's auto shut off and everything. But this one I'm going to turn on and off on demand. So we're going to go Ender IO and put a conduit switch on it and make it a little bit more compact than the last build. So I'm going to need another Tesseract. I would just run it off these, but I'm going to be using different conduits, so that doesn't exactly work. Actually, though, it could, because these will power an Ender IO conduit. Well, that Tesseract's already making, but I think I'm going to go this way instead. So let's go ahead and get... I'm going to have to wait till this is done because the other thing I want to do is also going to use the alloy smelter, so we'll be back in a minute. Alright, it's not quite done yet, but oh, now it is. But the part that needed the alloy smelter was done anyway, so we're going to go ahead and get us some insulated redstone conduits, some item conduits, and we'll go ahead and craft some Ender energy conduits. Yeah, okay, so let's make like, I don't know, 30 of those sounds good. And we get those making. Conduit binders are cooking, and the energetic alloys, and vibrant alloys. And this is going to take a minute too. So while that's going, we're going to go ahead and get around to the placing of these blocks. 1, 2, 3. All right, there. First thing you got to do for a laser drill, if you're unaware, is dig a hole straight to bedrock. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my armor capabilities, so I've got light and I can fly and all that cool stuff. Ah! Hey, look at that, a cave. Made it easy. Let's get out of here. Oh, emeralds. Ooh, more emeralds. Never have too many of those. Oh boy. I'm gonna get myself a stack of remedy this. Oh boy. Got zombies and all kinds of stuff going on here. Alright, so we've got our hole to bedrock. Going up. And what'll happen here is I'm going to place this here so I can place the laser drill down. Leave it to this pickaxe to always make a mess. So you can see what happens here is, and this will hurt me, as you can see. You all enjoy seeing me get hurt. That beam goes all the way down to the bedrock level, but it's not doing anything yet. We've still got some stuff to do. How are my conduits coming? Alright, cool. Got that. And now we need to put these 4 laser drill pre-chargers around the laser drill. I have to get back behind here. And there. So you can see they're kind of beaming it over there. But those, I only need 4 stone. What am I doing? Those will provide the power that makes the laser drill do its thing. So, I think I had a conduit switch already made. I did. So what we're going to do here is run an energy conduit off of here. That actually doesn't look too ridiculous. And run one here. You know, actually I should place the redstone conduits and the conduit switch first, because as soon as I power these, they're going to start, well, being powered. And I actually think that what I want to do is, I want to put these lower anyway. So I'm going to take those off for a minute. Come here, you. Okay. So now we can just put those on like so, and put the conduit switch here. And what the conduit switch will do is when we right click on it, it will turn on a redstone signal that will stop these machines in their tracks. They've all got some energy in them because they were in my inventory, and I have a wireless charger down here, and apparently MFR machines will charge in your inventory off one of those. Apparently it's just one of them, but now that those are effectively disabled for a moment, we can go ahead and power them. And this is what I love about Ender IO conduits, because they can exist in the same block space. So if you ever want a really complex but also compact build, you should really check out Ender IO conduits. There, there, and there. So they should all, in theory anyway, be powered. Yes. Looks like they are, in fact, all powered. Cool. So now that they've got power, you're saying, all right, let her rip. No. What we need to do next is run an item conduit out of this. Oops. As I was saying, run an item conduit like so, and we're going to have it set to extract, always active, and we're going to run it down these just because it looks cool. That's what counts, after all. And then up here, like so, into the Tesseract, and we'll program that one to insert. So we should now have a working laser drill system that can be turned on and off as we feel like. Let's put these conduits away. And I'm going to make a couple focuses for this because I'd like to have things like diamonds come up on a semi-frequent basis. So the cool thing is now NEI will give you a laser drill probability. It will give you what focus gives you the highest probability of a certain ore. So it kind of takes the guesswork or wiki reading out of it a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a lime green focus or two. So we'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and make some focuses, and we'll be back when we're ready to put them in and run the machine. Folks, I actually just realized we're running super long on this episode. I'm probably going to have to wrap it up and continue this in episode 6. But we'll go ahead and let this activate, and you can watch the idle tick down. And then what will happen is these will probably run out of power rather quickly because all of their power will go into it. Nope, that's actually keeping up pretty good. It's probably the unlimited output from that conduit over there is just enough, because a full laser drill setup uses 20,000 RF per tick approximately, and these can carry a maximum of 20,480 per connection, which the one connection here can carry that to each of the, distribute it to each of the 4 over here. I can actually go ahead and disable that. There we go, because that doesn't need a redstone signal. So what happens is work builds up as these provide power and ores come out. And then once we turn it off, the work counter is stopped, and the work on this is also stopped. And so that is how you make a functional laser drill build. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap up, and we will see you next time with a little more from the newly built IC2 factory. In the meantime, this is TM24Fan8 signing off. See you later.